So, hello everybody. So we are going to propagate these babies. I gotta move this down so you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, tighten it. Hopefully it stays there. I have the worst stands ever. Oh, that's not even working. Okay, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna show you guys, and maybe I can lower it a little bit. I can make it a little shorter. Maybe yeah, I can do that without knocking things down. Oh, it's this. There we go. Okay, so I got all of these here, and I wanted to do. I just put water in them, and so I got all my jars that I put. I put baking soda and vinegar, and left them overnight. And they're not perfect, but they are sanitized. So we're gonna do. Um, and I put. I got some water here with some tap water with 2 cups of hydrogen peroxide, so the 3%. So we're going to use that to root them, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I wanted to work on my monstera. There's actually 4 monsteras in that plant, and I was actually wanting to separate them. So I was thinking of putting them in like water for a bit until I get the chunky mix for my soil, and so that I can plant them in their chunky mix, right? So, and then I bought one plant, and then I have like now 1, 2, 3, 4. There was one. Yeah, there's 4 in there. Then I got one that's rooting. So yeah, I'm gonna put them in a smaller pot too. So these have been in this like in this container for like a week, and I just kept swishing them around in the water, and so that they all got water, and they I left the lid off so that they can get air too, and these, as long as they get air and water, and they got light from the bathroom, so like they're still good. So like these are very resilient, and I put a sign downstairs on my on letting people know if they want to buy a plant or whatever, very cheap, like buy cuttings. I think it was like 10 cents a cutting or something. I just wanted to didn't want to throw them away. But now I'm just gonna reroot them all, and if people still want cuttings, then they'll at least start at the root anyway. So yeah, so we're gonna do some long ones, and then we're gonna do some short ones. So this one here, I'm gonna do a long one. I'm gonna cut that one off there because there's another one missing in between. So, and we're gonna cut off some of this, and then we're gonna leave it as one plant. I think I'm gonna cut off to about there. So that gives you that much. And there's spinach. And I just vacuum, so any plants I'm putting down here is just plants. So I think this will root for pine. And I got like all these different like sizes of rooting jars, so this one will fit perfectly in here. There's some other ones. So we're gonna do that. We're just gonna keep on working on it, one plant at a time. See, I cut these all off of plants that really looked straggly and stuff. They needed a haircut, and that's what you do when you have plants like this one here. This one here's it's got 2 different growth sections here. So you got 2 different plants here for sure. And so we're gonna cut it. That was a leaf that was cut off. All right, so cut that off. I'm gonna cut it off here right now, and then separate them, and then see what I'm gonna do. Because if the leaf doesn't look good, then I'm just gonna cut it off and make it into, smaller plant. I think this one here. I think this one here could go. It could really be 2 plants. So the smaller the plant, the better they root. So we're just gonna cut them on an angle as well. You got to cut them on an angle, and be like there's got to be a node though for it to root. So we are going to fill this little jar up, and then we're, you know, like sometimes 2 nodes will help you, or 1 or 2 nodes. So we're going to cut these 2 off, and then we'll have this nice little plant here. So I'm going to stay on here for about half an hour, and then hopefully I'm done. So if I've got any longer than that, then, you know, I think half an hour is good enough for this kind of live stream. So I just wanted to share this with you, and it's easier than making a video. And look at this one. This one's pretty. Yeah. All right. So I know I've been putting this off, so I had to do it. I wanted to do something else, but I had to do this because I've been putting it off. Actually, I'm going to leave that one like that. And all the leaves look pretty good except for the bottom one. I'm going to give it 3 nodes to really have a good chance. Yeah. And we're going to put this one in a different one. So we got another one. And I'll fill them all up with water when I'm done. I'll put that one over there. Ooh. Good thing I didn't put water in there, Gary. I just dropped it on the floor. Didn't break though. We're still here. We still here. All right. So cuttings. Okay. One more. Rescue. Hello, hello. Y'all found me? I didn't even save this. I should have saved it in my plant folder, but might have to give somebody a quick call back here while I'm on here, because someone tried to call me right now, and I'm just like right in the middle of something. Sometimes timing, everybody's got different timing for stuff, right? Okay, so this one here is perfect. We're gonna cut it off here. Okay, I'm gonna mute us here for a minute, and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's like everybody wants you at the same time, right? Bad timing. All right, so a good thing I have 2 tablets, so I could like tell her I'd call her back, my friend. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back to it. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so we're cutting here. I'm gonna cut right there. So this one here is gonna be a two leafer. We're just gonna give one little note. I think that'll be just fine because this one is a hardy one. Put them in there. I'm doing this because I have to do this because I don't like to see my plants. I don't like to see any of the plants go waste, right? So I have to do this. I wanted to really work on my Monstera, but I have to take care of this stuff first. And then I'll show you, like I have cuttings like this and rooting in my kitty cat wine bottles. And I was just looking at them. I'm just like, they're like this low, like this far away from like the top from water. So the roots are like not even touching the water anymore, but the plants are still very green. So I was just going to show you guys after we're done this, like how resilient these plants are. I am going to cut that top leaf off because that's going to help the root growth faster. So it's not shooting up the energy up there. So where am I going to cut it? I want to make 2 plants out of this one. So this bottom one, I'm going to cut the one leaf off and then cut that on an angle. And I'm going to cut it right there on the second leaf. So now you have a beautiful 2-leaf plant. And they propagate so fast. They grow so fast. You get new ones so fast. Like I only got like one of each plants, and now I got 3 kinds. I got the marble, this marble potos here, and well, a lot of these ones are the emerald, but there is marble here as well in this bucket. See, there's a marble one. Yellow golden marble. This is a golden marble potos. A golden potos, yeah. So this one here, I'm going to cut the top leaf off as well because that's a very new leaf. And then we're going to cut the bottom 2 leaves off. And we'll give this one a little extra chance because it is a little bit wilty, but they will come back as soon as you put water in them. I'm trying to keep all the green ones together and all the golden ones together. But that's not always possible when you're doing that. This one here has really thick stems. Some of them do. Like look how long this one is that I had to cut off. Like a long. I'm gonna keep the long ones for a minute. I'm going to work on the short ones for a second. Like this is why I cut them off because they're missing a lot of leaves. Because when you don't water them and you're supposed to, then the leaves start yellowing and then they fall off, or I pull them off. So basically, this one you got to cut it. Well, there you can save 1 leaf right there, and it is very thick. So this already has like a node right there, and you can stick that right in, like in dirt too. But like, if you have rooting agent, that would work better. But like, I like to use water, and it only takes like a week for them to root. Really, a week or 2, they have really strong roots by then. And like this one here, you know what I mean? Like they're doing better if you cut them off and let them survive like that. So I should keep all the single ones together because it's easier to keep them in a container when you keep this. I almost want to give it that extra root there, like that extra node there to get extra chance. Get another little one to put the single ones in. Then make this one. Another one. Oh, this one, I thought this one was cool how I could twist it like that. I'm gonna let this one grow like that. I am gonna cut that little leaf off there because it's not a very healthy one. But yeah, this one, it's kind of cool how you could even put this in some rocks. I might do that. Keep this one for later, for after. Do something cool with it. I have so many, and nobody's knocked on my door yet from my building where I live. Like I left like a sign downstairs saying, "Hey, I have plants for sale, really cheap if you want some." So yes, that's nice 3-leafer. We're gonna give it a nice little cut at the bottom there, and then we're gonna stick it in here. Yeah, I just don't have a lot of space to be putting these, so that's why I was trying to get rid of some. Not that I don't like them, I love them, but they can be too much sometimes. Like this one here is already grown off of where it's already been cut once, right? So this one here is a new growth off of where it's already been cut once, and I'm going to cut off the little ones. And I'm going to cut off this leaf right here, but on an angle so that can be the node. Yeah, sometimes they are a little wonky the way they are. They're weird looking. They're strangely shaped, weird. Now I got this one here too. Okay, this is, my back is already hurting from sitting here like this. Trying to keep all the other stuff on one side. Then cover myself there. 840, and everybody. I can't see everybody. Limmy. Welcome everybody. Oh my, oh my, oh my, me oh my. All right, so we're gonna cut these ones. We're gonna cut these 2 leaves off, and then we're gonna cut it right there on an angle. And there's another 3-leafer. A 3-leafer. Oh yeah, the bigger ones out here. Bigger ones up here. Okay. Another one. And this one. So we are going to cut these 2 leaves off. So it gets a better chance to have 2 nodes there. We'll give it a better chance then. Okay. These are very long. I mean, you could see this is a double one here. You could actually like root all of them, but it takes a lot more energy out of them, and you might lose some leaves when you do it like that. Yeah, so this is the bottom. This is the top. So this is a plant on its own over here that's already grown off of that one. So I'm going to cut it right there on an angle. Cut off the first leaf. And then you have a nice big plant with like 5 leaves, almost 6 leaves. You know, with that big one. What are y'all up to? I hope everybody's in a safe place in Canada here. There's a lot of smoke, and it's kind of calmed down a little bit today. Hopefully it rains soon, and that will help clear up some of the soot and stuff that's everywhere. Like, I don't know what's going on with the bugs right now. I was outside today, and I had to come in immediately because there was mites everywhere. Like, I did go to the other side, outside on the other side of the house, and it was fine there where the cement is, but where the plants are and stuff like that, where the grass is, there was little like red like mites. They look like mites, and they were like crawling all over my tablet. They were crawling all over my arms. I had to come in really quickly and wash my arms. I don't know what the heck they were. But obviously, whatever's going on is stirring up the bugs. And I'm like, we are quite a few hours away from where the fire. Well, at least 3 hours away from where the fire is. But it's still like the smoke. We can smell it here. And then on that bug, I seen those little red ant-like bugs. Like they're like little mites, but they look like, I don't know. They look like mites. But they were crawling all over my tablet. I was like, no. First, like, you know, I don't panic right away when I see a bug. So the first couple, I just kind of like squished them, right? They were tiny. little red things, right? I've seen them before, but not that many. And then they just like were everywhere on my tablets. I'm like, hey, oh no, that was my morning coffee. Well, my afternoon coffee this morning. So we're gonna do this one at. We're gonna cut one more because we're gonna do three. I like to have them a little bit better of a chance. So we'll cut it right there. Again, I gave it 3 leaves. And then when it grows on the top, it's gonna double the leaves, eh? Oh yeah. Cheers, my G. Yeah, I was gonna smoke one with my friend and she called and yeah, I'm just like, yeah, now you're home, but now I'm like on the line. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll call you back in a few. I'm just gonna be on here for like half an hour. So yeah. Okay. Because I'm trying to get it done in like quickly. So I don't like wasting my beautiful plants. I'd rather share them with others for just like, I like energy exchange. So like, give me a, few, give me a little bit for it. And like this one here, like that leaf is messed, that leaf is totally gone bad. So I'm gonna have to cut that leaf off. And that one's gonna have to be a single one. Yeah, I enjoy outside, but not when this is going on. When it's like the weather's like doing this. I mean, when it's starting things on fire, that's not cool at all. That's not at all cool. Like my mom just went through like breathing issues and hospitalized, and she's doing okay right now. She's staying inside, which is good, but that sucks having to stay inside because of the air quality. It's so bad. But I'm grateful that we're not in the fire or right in the smoke. I'm so grateful for that, and I feel so bad for the people that are. I do. I really feel a lot of sadness for those people living there, losing their homes and stuff. I do feel very sad for them. And if I can help, I want to help. But really, look at these babies. Oh, I gotta cut that one off because that one's kind of messed up. Oh, look at these. How big these leaves are. They're pretty big. They're pretty big. Yeah, this is my meditation. This is how I meditate. Like I normally don't share with you guys, but I will share you guys like a little bit other things like while I'm done here. But right now I just have to sit here and meditate and do this. Oh, look how beautiful this one is. Look, I don't even want to cut it, but I have to. Look how beautiful these ones are. These ones are really big. They come from a big plant. And of course I'm going to cut that top one because I want the energy to go to the roots. Oh, that one's all twisted. We're just gonna leave that twisted one. It looks fine. But I gotta cut this beautiful one down here. I don't want to do that, but I have to. Gotta cut at an angle. I just have to cut it. I have to cut it. I don't like cutting the pretty leaves. But yeah, I had to. All right, look at this one. This one here with the 3 and more leaves or whatever, 2 and more leaves, 3 more leaves maybe. This one here has quite a few in them now. Just got to make sure they all are in there still the way you had them because sometimes they come up when they get moved, and then some are down and some are not. Okay, that one's down. So then you got to move them in a different spot. Make sure they all get water. That's the pain in the butt about this is like not having the proper rooting stuff. This one, I think, this one here is kind of messing it all up. The other ones are more lengthy. That's why you got to keep certain ones together. Yeah, quite a few can fit in there yet. I'm gonna put this one in there. I'm gonna move that plant over a little bit so we have a little bit more room here. There's a lot of leaves on here that I've already cut off. They are in water, so they've been kept healthy while they're having a little nap. Like, look at this one. One lonely one down here. We're gonna keep it though. Look how nice. Oh wait, you know what? We're gonna give it a chance. It'll shoot out new ones. We're gonna give that a chance because it's a nice big one. Sure, this one was another single one. But they multiply, so I'm gonna cut that one off. And then there's 3 nodes. I always gotta make sure there's 2 or 3 nodes at least. At least 2 new nodes if you can. You'll get more of a chance of it rooting better and quicker. Because if one node doesn't take, the other one does, right? So just from my experience, and if the leaf is going down like that, like it's kind of you don't want that, so you cut off some of them. So this one here is going to be one whole plant, but again I'm going to cut off the top so that the energy goes to the roots. We're going to put this one in the big jar here. It's got like 4 leaves in that one. My skirt keeps riding up. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. It's not that kind of show here. All right, so this one has a lot of stem here that it can be rooted as a whole plant. And again, I'm just going to cut that top one off because look how it's like all squished down on them. It's growing downwards. And then I'm going to cut this one here because it's got the curve. I'm going to cut it right on the curve. And I'm going to cut that leaf right there. Actually, I'm going to cut that leaf too because it's cut. So you still got a 3-leaf plant. We'll put that in this. Excuse me, I just choked on my saliva. My coffee, where did I put my coffee? I thought I brought it near me. And there comes Phoenix. There comes my babies. My little babies. Oh, we got one single one again. My little babies. Do you want to be part of this show? Do you want to come on the show, babies? Yeah, she gets called baby. Sage gets called princess. And my son's cat gets called grandbaby. So I got my little pet names for them all. And Phoenix is the baby, so she's called the baby. And when I call them and they need to know their names, if I don't call them by their name, I have to call them by the right pet name, or else if I call them the wrong pet name, then the other one gets jealous. Because that's their name. Okay, that was cut off. Cut off that one. Yes. we can't make these females jealous because they are all females. They all got like, yeah, they all got their own little territory. They're all very little. They all have their own little ways of territorial energy. Yeah, this one here is a little weird up top, and I'm gonna cut that off. You just kind of use your own kind of what you think. Now that one's just stick. I should eat something. I'm hungry. So I think I'm gonna cut it right there, and then use that one. That should right there. Oopsie. And then, yeah, some of these are very thick and thicky and thick. Yeah, I could go on like if anybody wanted me, this would be a good time to go on like do a panel live. While I'm doing stuff like this, we're all hanging out, we're all chatting, smoking and talking and hanging out, talking about plants, whatever. We could all do that. But I'm not. I haven't really been on the ball and been on a rate like on a schedule. I haven't really done that, so it's my own fault. I have not set up anything or done anything like that. Just been kind of doing my own thing, popping in with my friends whenever I get time. And they do the same for me, so yeah. Being a YouTuber is a lot of work, isn't it? Isn't it, 840? It's a lot of work to be a YouTuber. It's a lot of work behind the scenes, and a lot of things that we don't even have time to show. Yeah, so even if we want to show people stuff, like it's a lot of times, a lot of things, it's just we don't have time to turn on the camera or whatever, right? Okay, I don't know if I should. Because you can grow these from both sides. Whatever way they kind of grow, I guess. So there's that one. And I'm going to cut that off there. They will change. The leaves will move, eventually. So I found all these rooting jars and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had all these still. They were in the bathroom in the corner. And I was like, I put vinegar and baking soda, left them overnight, and the next day cleaned them. And then here I am taking care of my plants. Oh, that's a single one again because there's a middle one that's broken. Two single ones. Sorry, I don't have a better setup here, but at least you guys can see me doing it. You don't see where I'm putting them, but I will show you all at the end where I'm putting them. I think these two are I'm going to keep them together. They kind of go together. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, this one's garbage. It's already got a hole. We're just going to let it go rest. Yeah, sometimes we have to throw things out. We have to. And we can't be upset about it. Yeah, so we are going to give this 2. Cut it right there. That's 3 of them. I do have quite a bit in these ones up here. Can't wait to show you guys all how many I got from just like cutting off a couple plants that were really annoying because they were like hanging down and they were just like very like they weren't creating any shade. They were just like big holes in the middle. I didn't like that with all the missing leaves. So like all this is missing, right? So that's why I cut them off. Don't like plants to do that. Like that one up top here can be like one little plant. That's the little one. Keep that with them, with the other ones. And we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it right here. Cut that off. And then cut this one off as a single leaf. Put that in there. And then cut, we have 2 nodes there. That should be fine, but I'm gonna cut an extra one. That's 2 leafer, and then there's another one up here that is a 1 leafer because there's a node in between them. So I'll make that a 1. And this one 2. 1 and 2's in there. Okay, so we got this left. Look at that. We're only been on for 38 minutes, so we're doing pretty good in time. We're almost there. Next time I'm gonna do it right away. I'm not gonna just cut them and leave them for a couple days like this. You know, I had a plan and then the plan changed because I was like gonna go outside and sit there and like sell these, but I didn't feel like sitting outside. So I just put a sign and nobody's come to got any. I guess I didn't want it that bad. I do have a way if there's no other way. Like I will find a place where I can put them to root them. I'm not gonna let them die. That's just how I am. We need to get cut more on this one. Okay. Don't like them to get stuck together. Stuck on each other. I think I'm going to put all these in the bathroom is what I'm going to do. So all the root and my rooting station is going to get set up in the bathroom, I think. Because I don't want them to be knocked down. And the living room, the cats might knock it all down. And then I have a big mess to clean up when I wake up. So I don't want that. So I might just, they might not bug them in the bathroom as much. So. And yeah, people can still come and get cuttings. They'll just be already maybe partly rooted or maybe already rooted when you come and get them. So they're still here. So you might be able to get some of these cuttings even if they're already rooted. Yeah. Because I have enough of these ones. I wanted to get some, I want to get some different types of ones, potos that I don't have yet. Like I want to get a neon one. It's a very bright one. I had to cut all that scraggly stuff off there. Cut that one off. Because some of them are, they're kind of a little weird. So yeah, like this one. Cut it off to there. They got like a lot of little nodes all in like in the same spot. And you don't want to really cut them. Too many of them. I'm going to cut the top leaf. Just right there. No, that top 2 cut. Yeah. And that one. All right. This one will go in here. Okay, that doesn't want to go in there. Okay, keep it there because it's got a really short. Some of these are twisted in all kinds of ways. Go check the leaves, make sure you don't want to cut the good one or if there's a bad one that you should cut. Like, I cut that little one. My belly's growling. I need to make food. I need to make some food. I'm gonna find a smaller. Oh, here's one. I gotta find another smaller one to put these ones in. Okay. There we go. The cats have been sleeping. Sage is right there sleeping. This will be one individual. And a small one. This could be a long one. And I also was thinking of getting all the ones that are in my kitty cat wine bottles, taking them all out of there, and then putting new ones in there. Because those ones are all rooted, and I could actually, plant them somewhere, right? So yeah, I'm not. If you guys said something I didn't answer. If you asked me a question or something, I didn't mean to. I'm just I'm never like I get right into it when I'm doing this. I'm really into it. Hey, way up, dude. All right, we're almost done here. Okay, that one's cut off. Cut that one off. Cut it off there. Yeah, I'll show you guys when it's done what they look like. Okay. And then you got to put them in there carefully. Carefully. Let's go see what's on the bottom here. The little curly ones are at the bottom. Maybe make 2 plants out of this one. Sometimes I don't look at the leaf because if I stare at the leaf too long, I won't want to cut it, Because I'm like, oh, that leaf is okay still. Don't cut it. But sometimes it's the nicest leaves that you have to cut for the other ones, for the whole plant to do good, It's sad. Sad. Oh, perfect seeds. It's just pruning. That's the way I like to think about it. Just pruning them. Just giving them a haircut. And sometimes you got to guide them a little bit in the right direction too. Because if you let them just grow however they want, they go a little crazy and act all curly and stuff. Yeah, plants are really good. Like, plants are they're not really part of my show. They're just part of my life. But then, so they become part of my show, I guess. So it's like this channel is not just about plants, it's about my life. But so, yeah. And what is good for us, and especially right now, we need all the positive air that we need. We can, right? So working with plants right now is probably the best air you can get. Working with plants like in your home or something. This one here I'm gonna grow it like this because these are cute like that. Where can I put it? Where can I put it? Where can I put it in? Maybe in this one. I can stick it in there. Maybe we can stick it. There we go. And then I gotta water them all. All the scraggly ones at the bottom. Get in there. Sometimes not all of them will root, and sometimes you got to go and pull off leaves that are just like dying and leaves that you want to cut off, but you did end up having to cut them off later. What's this? Like, I'm not going to save that one little leaf. Like, should I? I say I'm not going to, then I'm like, should I? No. We're not going to be that pathetic. Okay. I'm already like, you know, this one's already small enough. So even though it took me a week to do this, they never were without water. And these are all cuttings that I dropped in here as I was. And I got these two longer ones. So I'm just going to kind of maybe try to keep them longer. Because I do have a few longer ones. And we're going to actually, I have to cut it right there because that's going to make two plants. Yeah. Yeah, we'll cut it right there. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Put this one in here. This one in there. Oh yeah, this, I'm so glad I got it done. Now I can actually, I want to separate all my monsteras, so that'll be the next thing. Not today, but, well, maybe later today. I don't know, because I really wanted to do it. These ones, I'm going to cut it in a different way. I'm going to do these ones like this. Right. Nah. We're just going to cut them as 3. Put them in there. I can't show you guys. My camera's on a stand, so it's not as easy to move it right now. But I needed it on the stand right now so that I didn't have to put my hands on the camera and all that while I'm having my hands are wet and stuff. So they are non-missing. So I'm going to keep this as 1. So I'm going to cut the bottom couple of leaves because they are a little bit rusty looking or whatever. All right, so that one's going to be 1 plant as well. All right, we done. Sticking to this seat here. Oh. Monologues. Just kidding. Okay. All right. So we got some water in this pail. I'm going to move it. And then I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to put the water in first, and then I'm going to show you guys, okay? Let's put the water in first. There we go. Water. Let's fill it up. Fill it up. I put 2 cups of peroxide. Okay. So I think I'm going to take them all to the bathroom and set them in the bathroom. But right now, we're going to set them on the floor until get them all filled. Happy Friday. I will be doing that soon here. Look how full this one is. It's filled. But yeah, so let's pour some in here. Perfect. So the peroxide helps the water oxidize, and it also helps prevent mold and mildew and stuff. Oh yeah, I washed my hair yesterday. Look how curly it is because I put it in curls when I was asleep. No, I put it in twisties, twisted it. Okay, another one. Now the big ones. The big one here. Well, that's not the big one yet. And one more. All right. For right now, till later, I'm going to put them here for now. And I'm probably going to have to, like, you know, tinker with them to make sure that they're all stuck in the water and all that good stuff, you know. I can't put them all too close together because then they'll stick together. They'll start growing towards each other. All right, so what we got. I'll show you. Okay. Okay. There's sage. There's those ones. There's 3 of them there, and then 3 there. So these are all the ones we did. And those are all the cuttings that I have to go put in the garbage. That's what I was sitting on. So anyways, so yeah, and see, there she is. She's enjoying that right now, but that's going to get moved because that plant, I think, could be happier. And I think it's kind of sad because it's all stuck together, like very close. And I'm going to make them all into their own little plant. And and a couple of them I'm going to put in water. And then because I got nice big vase here, this big one. It's a big crystal vase, and I have another one. And that one is in the kitchen, I think. I'll show you. I have 3 vases, so I have 4 plants there. I'll put 1 in dirt and then 2 of them in vases. These ones have been cleaned. They just have like the hard water. That's it. But they have been cleaned with vinegar and peroxide. So yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna put them in water for a while until I get the chunky mix, and then plant them in the really like orchid mix kind of. This is one that I took that I cut. So it's got 3 leaves. This monster baby has 3 leaves. That's a newer leaf. And it's already getting a root. Like it's already rooting. It's already got its first little root right there. Sorry, I'm shaking. I need to eat. But yeah. And I'm very excited about this one here. Like I saw videos online saying that they don't grow like within 2 years. Maybe you'll grow one seed. There's the old leaf. There's a new one. It's already got 2 leaves. Then there's that one coming up. And this leaf here is supporting that one. And then this one here is growing too. So there must have been another leaf, I guess, whatever. Because there's one there and there's one behind there too growing. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Seeing them grow. So yeah, everything's doing good. They're all doing good. So this one here, it had been really lazy for a couple of years not growing because I had these 2 together. And this one seemed to be kept losing its leaves because, you know, either, you know, the cats did this, I think. So anyways, So there's something there growing. There's like a, you know, when a tree heals itself, it looks like that. But I scratched a little bit. I wanted a new leaf to come out. I was hoping. But I think there's some going on at the top. But this plant has been slow. But this one, all of a sudden, start just like coming out like this. 4 leaves are all new. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.